Good afternoon. You reached the Office of Inspector General for the MTA. How may I help you?
Good afternoon. I just got a call from, I guess I was listening to his voicemail. SeamusWeir. Did I get it wrong?
Nope, you're correct.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good for me. All right, yeah, I don't know if he's available. He called, I guess, a few minutes ago. He wanted to speak to me about, I'd be happy to speak to him. I'm looking forward
Okay.
to it.
Okay, what is your name, sir?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Brian Burke.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
Thank you.
Brian Burke, I got it. Hold on. I'm sorry, hold on again.
SeamusWeir.
Oh, hi, Mr. Weir. This is Brian Burke returning your call.
Hey, thank you. How are you?
Oh, great, great. And thank you for reaching out to me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure who who tasked you with calling me, but or what information you have. I'd be happy to fill you in on anything that you're missing.
Uh-huh. Actually, I reviewed the file that we had originally put together and when you had the original complaint a couple of years ago and your most recent one. And the Inspector General asked me to reach out and discuss it with you if you had anything that you didn't understand that was done.
Yeah. If also, I've been sending out emails. I guess I sent some out last week, and was forwarding them today to various officials within the MTA. And I'd be happy to send it to you. It's actual. It makes it. I guess it was information. I think not all of it was contained in the information I sent in previously. And obviously, I understand. The difference. I think I understand the difference between allegation and evidence and proof and so on. And then what it is in emails, I have actual evidence beyond, of course, my allegations. So of perjury, of subornation of perjury, fraud, of course, obstruction of justice, etc. So if it's all we're talking, I could, if you have the email. I did have some problems previously with emails bouncing back from the IG's office, but maybe we try it again. I don't know. I can send that to you.
Well, we have our regular email system, I think, that you've been utilizing in the past, and there's nothing wrong with it, as far as I know. What you just started talking about was allegations and evidence, which your allegations are fine, but not having any evidence is the problem.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. The email I was sending out last week, I had the evidence. I guess I didn't, include. I included some of the evidence, but in the attachments I sent out last week, I scanned the document where Mr. Chu alleged in a verified pleading, he stated under oath as an officer of the court in a verified pleading that I was paid my differential pay and other pay. Also, I have other documents from one from Ms. Bay stating that I was paid, and I also have the documents that is included from I have to admit the hundreds of pages I sent. I just extracted the actual pages where transit employees, managers who actually investigated it found I was not paid. So obviously there's a direct conflict there. And then I also spoke with Mr. Chu, and he acknowledged that he committed perjury. He claims somehow it was not knowing. This is his argument, not mine, in a verified pleading. So I guess he was saying he didn't verify his verified pleading, which I think would also constitute perjury. It's either way. It's perjury. So basically the evidence is incontrovertible, and obviously I hope that your office would be interested in this and the fraud that's underlying it. I think this is, I've been referred back to you guys by a number of other individuals, high-ranking individuals. I could wear who they are, but in which I guess I tend to agree. They saying that it's statutory that you're required to investigate this, that you are the only ones really to investigate fraud and to investigate the Department of Law. And, unless I get some information to the contrary, and as well as an explanation on why, if that's what what your position today is, that you're going to, or maybe I've changed your mind with some additional evidence. I would otherwise need a detailed explanation on why you would, I guess, aid and abet this.
Yeah. Well, I think you pretty much stated the whole case. We've never received any evidence. We have reviewed the previous investigation that was done by the investigative attorney from this office, and the statements were all reviewed, and all of the administrative hearing information and all of the statements made by anybody involved in the matter were reviewed, and as a result, the office made a determination that there is no reason to contest anything that was already done. So you were sent a letter informing you of that, and the investigation is closed, and it's not going to be reopened. So I just wanted to let you know that we have received your contact, and rather than not contact you and let you know what's going on, I'm telling you that we have looked at it, and it's at the point where there is no reason for us to re-evaluate something that was fully investigated already.
Can I ask what investigation was done?
It's the one that was done that you received a letter on in 2016.
In 2016?
That's correct.
Did I don't recall receiving a letter. Do you have a copy of that?
I do, and I'm not giving you any more paperwork, and I'm not opening up any investigation. I'm just calling to let you know, one gentleman to another, that if we're finished with this investigation, we're not reopening it. You have been paid off by the Transit Authority.
Whoa, hold on, Mr. Weir. Now we're going. You're saying I've been paid. Now you're committing the fraud. Now I'm going to report this to the MTA board tomorrow. That you're saying that I've been paid. I have not been paid. So, wow. Okay. Now I'm. Because that's what I was bringing to you, was someone else saying I got paid. And if you're saying I got paid, and if you do that under oath, I guess we're just talking here, but if you do that under oath, then you're committing perjury, but it's still fraud, because you're saying you investigated it and you just said I got paid. Now you're a party to the fraud. So I see where the problem is, that it is coming out of the MTA Inspector General's office. And that's why I have to speak to Ms. Porcorny. And that you're saying it's from 2016. I made a complaint in this year, and it didn't allude back to 2016. So this fraud is ongoing, and it's unpaid. And the documents I sent last week, and I did copy your office. I have testimony from Workers' Comp 120 hearing. People stated under oath, managers stating I was not paid. I also have documents from a unemployment insurance appeal board. Another employee stated, yes, I was not paid. And so these were documents, and also testimony under oath by senior government employees in New York City Transit Authority that says I was not paid. And I'll just tell you, Mr. Weir, and maybe this is something you just believe and that you were told, and if so, I think that's unfortunate. But if I'm saying I haven't been paid when I would be committing fraud. Would you agree with that? I mean, so we would have fraud either way. Either I'm committing it by stating to you I haven't been paid, and this is a great deal of money, and that's certainly exactly what the Inspector General investigates. If someone, myself, is putting in a claim for payment for something that's already been paid, that is the clearest fraud that's ever happened, and I should be arrested for it. Or alternatively, I was not paid, and if people are just giving you false information, well, I'd be happy to try to show you other people who stated correctly that I have not been paid. Because I think we can agree, Mr. Weir, either I was paid or I was not paid. And I have to be clear, I haven't been paid workers' compensation. I have not been paid 2 weeks of wages, 10 hours of overtime, vacation and sick pay from 2015 or 2016, and as well as all the differential from 2015 through present. And that amounts to over $100,000, and I've reported it in every possible way. And if it's going to be covered up, then I think people need to go to jail for it. And whoever's covering it up, and I'm going to ask that they be arrested and prosecuted. And I would prefer that it not be anybody within your office. And I don't know who gave you that incorrect information, but I never received a letter. If you're saying you sent a letter, maybe you did send a letter. I don't know. But certainly, the information I brought you this year of additional crimes, including perjury and subornation of perjury, I think it's a very serious matter. And certainly it exceeds, whether someone's stealing toilet paper or breaking glass or putting an extra hour in for work, which is all crimes you guys should investigate. This is a much greater crime. And your explanation is false. So I have to ask to speak to your boss, because I believe you're operating under, at best, a misconception, or you're assisting in covering up this criminal activity.
Well, I'm trying to allay your fears that you will be talking to my boss, because
I will. I'll be talking to her tomorrow morning in front of the whole board and explaining exactly what you said, Mr. Weir. And can you give me the spelling of your name?
W-E-I-R.
W-E-I-R. And then your first name?
Seamus.
Okay, and you're saying, Mr. Weir, now, just to be clear, because I don't want to be incorrect. I don't want to state anything incorrect here.
Listen,
this is very important.
All I'm calling
you're saying you're saying you had information I was paid.
I'm hanging up. I'm calling to let you know that we received your complaint. It was investigated, and it was determined that it was unsubstantiated. It was not covered up.
And what evidence do you have I was paid, Mr. Weir? Did you have any evidence that I was paid? Did someone tell you that, or do you even care?
I'm reviewing the case that I got, and I reviewed your complaint from last week with allegations that you filled out on grievance forms. I am not going to go into what was already done and what you repeat over and over. I didn't call you to upset you. I called to tell you that we received your information.
Well, Mr. Weir, if you haven't been paid for several years, and I just call and say, no, you have been paid, you think that's where it would end? Is that something, you don't think I would report that to authorities above you?
You have used the entire available way for you to get yourself heard. And in every case, it has been refuted. And you have been...
How has it been refuted, Mr. Weir? It's not been refuted. It's been acknowledged.
I just wanted to call and let you know that we did receive your complaint. We are not going to act on the complaint. It's been closed, and going forward, we will not entertain any complaints from you regarding this problem again. Thank you for your time.
Can I ask what your responsibility is within the Inspector General's office?
Have a great job, and have a good life. Thank you very much.